slow.
Try slow. Here's something Joe was talking, and this really resonated with me, because Joe and I both work with hundreds, if not thousands, of people all over the world at this point. And people ask me all the time, why are you special? And Joe gets that, why is he special? And it has very, very little to do with our expertise on nutrition. In fact, I will throw this down. I know less than most people on nutrition. Maybe that's not entirely true. I'm trying to sound, it's a humble brag or whatever somebody would call it. But the fact of the matter is, why we are the best in the world is because we understand people, and we understand what you said earlier, that we cannot understand what you know or have learned or have been bombarded with for the last 30 plus years. But the fact that we get that you have been is what separates us.
Well, I'll take it a step further. The diet industry is made in a lab. You lose weight in real life. And that's the difference, is that a lab and real life, they're not connected. There's no connection. And a controlled experiment with controlled variables, I mean, let's take it back to 7th grade for a second. Anybody can mix 2-3 things together in a controlled way. Well, what happens when you travel? Right? What happens when you're going to an engagement party? What happens when life happens? And what makes us, I think, really the difference between what you and I do and somebody who's a registered nutritionist or a dietitian or so on and so forth, is they may understand the body way better, but I think they're too close to it. I think...
And they're too close to it, and they've lost sight. I've used this example in the past. I was giving a seminar. Someone was there to basically battle me over flexible eating versus paleo, right, and said, how can you tell this person to eat sugar? And I was like, how can you tell this person not to? You're right, setting her up for failure. Right. And, since you've been here and I've heard your calls and you've heard mine, I think you do a phenomenal job, and you tell me about what, your questionnaires and all of that, getting to the root and helping. It's not about telling you what you've been doing wrong. It's about people don't know and start to right, dig deep. It's, stems from this. It stems from, ask why 5 times. Why do you want this? Why do you want that?
This drives me crazy. If you talk to a registered dietitian or nutritionist, or anybody for that matter, that's not us, they will tell you, if you're not doing something the right way, they'll say, you need to get your priorities straight, or you need to do this.
Hey, you told me about that example, right?
Right. Oh, you're, somebody told me that their husband got very sick. They were in the hospital, and they couldn't necessarily eat the right amounts of protein, carbs, and fat. And their coach said to them, you need to have more discipline. Fuck that. That's ridiculous. The fact of the matter is that there are going to be times that this needs to be put on the side. And that's not an acceptable answer. We are people. This is about people. And all of us get so caught up in the food, and we get so caught up in the science, and we get so caught up that, well, you're blah, blah, blah levels and blah, blah. Who cares? Who cares? You're a person. You have things that have happened to you in the past. You have things that you've read. People have told you certain things. And you need to reverse those things before you ever lose weight and keep it off for good. Period. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care about your scientific expertise. I will tell you this one thing and one thing only, because I know it worked for me, and I know it worked for you, and I know it worked for every single person that I work. If you don't get to the root of the emotional issue, you'll never keep a pound off. It'll always come back. I don't care how sophisticated your diet is. I don't care what the scientific background is. You're never going to have coconut oil your entire life. Period. Sorry, you're not going to eat kale chips for the rest of your life. Guess what? At some point, you're going to have Lay's kettle cooked chips, because they're fucking delicious and they're awesome, and you're going to have them. Should you be having them every single meal? No. Can you put it in balance? Yes. We're people. Remember that. You got to cut yourself some slack. You got to treat yourself better. The I need to be more disciplined shit approach. You're going to go from eating pizzas and Chinese food 4 times a week to now eating paleo. Yeah. Go ahead. Good luck. Mm-hmm. That's what I want to say. Yeah, and anybody who programs that is, well, whatever.
A dummy.
Yeah.